All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Fernando here. I'm going on a sand flea expedition. I got to catch sand fleas, and I'm going to try to get some mullet later. So right now I'm here at Cape Canaveral, and it seems like they're right here on the edge. See the ones on top falling off? That was a good scoop. So all you need is a rake, or you can get a rake half this size and it'll work. If there's, you know, the sand fleas out here are pretty thick. So then what you want to do is, there's a lot of sand, so you want to come over here and just shake it out. But you don't want to put this in front of you, because the wave will hit it and it'll hit your shins. So here we are, shaking it out. I see some in there already. Just be careful, because you don't want the stuff going back in the water. We got quite a few, guys, quite a few. There you are. A lot of sand fleas in there. So I got a bucket over here. So later I'm going over to the other side, see if I can get some more with my cast net. I don't see any bait fish here, but I'm looking. I got most of my stuff in the car. So here's what I got so far. I got these in 10 minutes. This is the best haul I've had right here. It's the best haul I've had right here. Look at the size of those things. Look at the size of those. They're big. All of them are big. So that's what I'm doing here. Go ahead, empty these out, and we'll do another scoop. Guys, come out here. You can see there's a drop off right here, and they're right on the edge of that. So let's see if I get another nice scoop. I see some in there already. Some just fell out. Yeah, we got a few. So basically, the way you find these things also, when you, like right now, there's no mounds anywhere. There's no mounds. You usually see them in mounds, and there isn't. And I asked this gentleman when I got here, was he catching any? He said, yeah. And he said they're right on the drop off, right here. So that is where they are. So we're gonna put these away, and we'll be back, and we'll try to get some mullet. I was gonna say these were fiddler crabs earlier, and then I said no, these are sand fleas. So I'm only taking the big ones out. That's all I want. So I'll probably take them home and steam them. So anyway, I'll show you when I get done. Just remember, when there's no mounds, just walk out to the end. And when they're thick, you can catch them on almost anything. All right, guys, I'll be back. I'm getting some pretty good rakefuls now. So I'm almost halfway on my bucket. Right there. Quite a few in here. Sand fleas. That's what we want. All right, guys, here's what I ended up with. It's almost full, you can tell. That's it. That's how you catch them. So I'm gonna head on out. Thanks for watching. You guys have an awesome day. All right, guys, so I'm back home now, and I'm getting ready to go ahead and store these for future. And I know earlier I said that I was going to throw the cast net, but to tell you the truth, after 2.5 hours of trying to get these, I pretty much was done. I do have pinfish too from the other day fishing. I got about a dozen pinfish for frozen baits. So I really, as far as the fish part, I got plenty. And what I had to do too, what I did was I sifted through all these to just keep the large ones. So all the small ones went back out. So all these here are pretty big. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to try something. The bait shop had sold some that were steamed. The guy had you know, steam them and then he put them in bags. So I'm gonna go ahead and try that. But I'm also gonna go ahead and put some in the bag here. I'll show you what I do. I just go ahead and get a bunch in here, you know, about halfway. Right about like that there. And then what I do simply is, and I'm recycling some of the bags that I saved for this purpose. And then what I do here, as you can see, I'm just filling it with water. And I put some water in it, about that much, and the water's going to preserve them. You can see they're all alive in there. They're going to die peacefully though in the freeze. And then what I do is I go ahead and make sure that this zip is really zipped on, and then I just place it flat like this in the freezer, since it's not leaking. But I put a plate in there, just a regular plate in the freezer, and just lay them just like you see them here. So again, I wanted to throw that cast net. I apologize about that. That would have been fun, but after 2.5 hours of sorting through this thing, I pretty much had enough. And I went on a long cycling trip yesterday, so I'm a little tired from that. So anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and steam these. When I steam them, I'll show you what they look like. All right, guys, you see they're on a plate there. They're already starting to freeze. They're still wiggling. And I could put little layers on top of that. But the thing is, when they freeze like that in the water, they're a lot fresher when you thaw them out, and they have a nice juice to them, a nice stink. So, but I'm going to try the steaming them too and using them for bait like I did when I bought them over at the bait shop a while ago, because I did catch fish. The sheep's head were hitting it, so we'll see. So anyway, guys, some of you married guys, it might be hard to put these in the freezer. Your wife might object to putting these little nasty things, but you can see that they're all large, and I got quite a bit. I mean, this thing was 3/4 of the way full, like you seen it earlier. And I'm gonna go ahead and steam half of this. I'm gonna go ahead and maybe make 2 more bags. Another thing too, keep in mind when I go offshore, when it's 1 to 2 foot seas, and because I love triggerfish. Triggerfish is one of my favorite fish, and triggerfish love sand fleas, frozen or not. You have sand fleas out there, they're gonna hit. They'll hit. When I was out there, they were hitting the sand fleas, and they weren't hitting the shrimp that quick. But the sand fleas, they were. The shrimp, they would eventually, but it would take a lot longer. So I'll show you once I steam them what they look like. All right, guys, last bag before I go ahead and steam these. I got the burner on. I was going to tell you, make sure that when you put water in, don't fill the bag all the way to the top. Just fill it where it barely covers the sand fleas, okay? And these things are going to preserve for a long time like that. You'll be able to fish for them with these. The ones that I have in my freezer, some of them I had in there for 5 months, but I just ran out, about 4 months. And they thought out pretty good, and the fish were hitting them. So, and that's what that big black drum hit on last week when I was in the canal that just, I don't know what it was, but it was just digging down. It's like a huge black drum. And it was on a frozen sand flea, an old one. As long as you keep them in water like this here, and lay them like this, that's how I lay them in the freezer. And you got to find room too. You could lay this pack right on top of the other packs like I showed you earlier. So, all right, let me get these steaming and I'll be back. All right, guys, here it goes. We're going to steam all of these. Oops, 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 oops. Woohoo! So we're gonna steam all these here. Now remember what I also told you earlier was, if you don't see the mounds in the sand when you're looking for sand fleas, if you don't see the mounds, because sometimes you see there'll be like little mounds as the wave washes out. You'll see all these little mounds. Like today it was low tide, there were no mounds, but there's a drop off there, just like a burrow, a little trench that goes down, and that's where they were. I just put the rake a little bit over and scoop up, and I would get plenty of them. So the thing is, I had to sort them all out, but I was getting, at times I was getting like 15 big ones on each scoop. So I have quite a bit here. So you can see that they're steaming. We're gonna go ahead and steam them up. There they go, they're turning red already. And I'll show you when I'm done what they look like. So you always have to search for sand fleas. You can even get them at high tide. I wanted to also tell you that. You got to look for the mounds. If there's not a slough there or something that drops off a little bit, because they'll be right at the edge of that sand where that drop off is, because the waves aren't washing that end up, and they'll hide in there. So let me go ahead and shake these up. All right, guys, I think they're pink, they're orange enough. You know, they smell like lobster, believe it or not. I should try one, but they look too much like bugs for me to try it. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and let them cool off. And then I'm gonna go ahead and bag them up once they're cooled. And go ahead and put them in bags. I am not going to add water, because the ones that I had bought at the flea market, where the lady was telling me the guy used this process, there was no water in there. So these I'll go straight up in a bag, and they're supposed to last, but we'll see. I think I should take these off now. I don't want to overcook them. And all right, well guys, I'm gonna go ahead and store these, let it cool and store. So I just wanted to thank you for watching. If you like what you see, go ahead and subscribe. There's all kinds of different stuff. I tinker with stuff a lot, so there's all kinds of different stuff there on my channel. You've got, you know, little repairs on boats, a little carburetor on this motor. You have all kinds of little stuff, replacing batteries. You also have exploring going on, like I explore a lot of the canals and stuff. So go ahead, and I do some shorts, early morning shorts with some nice little shorts. So go ahead, if you like what you see, subscribe, and I want to thank you again for watching, and hope you're doing well. Bye bye.